Alright, well, we've just started, so we've got everything attached. It's funny, I'm just sort of questioning my own ability and feelings. Just feel a bit, I don't know, mum's in hospital and just feel a bit down at the moment, but all we got to do is just get up to the top of that ridge there, which really isn't very far, and then just across that ridge, and then it's like 6 kilometers. It's like just over there. It's really not far. But this area here, if you watch the earlier videos, I was trying to work out where camp was in relation, and I couldn't quite figure it out. But this is where we were doing the fishing. So this is where Bjorn brought me out with the skidoo, and then I took the pictures and you know, we caught the trout. So this flat bit all around here, this is the lake. And even though the snow is starting to get a little bit soft, remember how much effort it took him to drill through the ice. There's about 50 centimeters of ice under here, so it's certainly going to take a while before it thaws out. So anyway, we've literally just got to get up that ridge, up that little incline there, and then it's fairly flat over there. So let's get going, and let's see what happens. And of course, I don't have to get to the lake, you know, I could go anywhere and we can come down anywhere. You know, I'm thinking of coming down that ridge over there tomorrow, but if I want to stop over there somewhere, then I can just stop over there, and then I can come down through those trees. It might be a bit interesting, but it's only a few, and there's no cornices or dodgy bits there. So let's just get up there, around there, and then we'll see how it goes. It just feels a bit, I don't know, maybe I miss having the dogs as well. Maybe I miss the dogs as well. Anyway, we're going to get walking and we will catch up later. Well, there was a little flat area here, some bracken, moss and some stones. There's a little flat area here. So, and I thought, let's just stop for a minute. So where we did the fishing was this side of that little mound there, and where we're camped is just the other side of the little mound. So yeah, so we were just down there. So we're about 25 meters up. So to be fair, I think it is going to be more than up here than just around there. I think it is a little bit further, and maybe that hill behind. But it is only 100 meters to the top of this hill, and then 100 meters as in elevation to the next hill. It is just rolling hills. Obviously, because you're pulling this, it does seem, it is quite strenuous, I must admit. I am glad I'm just gonna do a little bit, and like I said, my plan now is I'm not going to come back in January, because my original plan was to come back at the beginning of February next year, when, you know, when the weather would be much colder, shorter days. I think with my level of experience and lack of skiing everything, there's no point in being stupid, and there's no point in pushing yourself. I know it's good to push yourself, but I don't see the point in pushing yourself beyond what is reasonably, you know, acceptable. So I'll probably come out early March. So it will be earlier than this time, but early March. So you've still got a little bit of extra daylight hours, and hopefully maybe not as cold as you know, early February, but hopefully a little bit colder, you know, than this. I'd like something a little bit more challenging than this, but not too much more. And to be fair, I'd probably do something similar to this, but maybe have you know, an extra day out and sort of do a bit more back over there and then come back down here or something like that. We'll see. Let's do this trip rather than thinking about the next one already. So we're going to have a drink, and I'm going to have a snack bar and some drink, and then we will carry on. Well, we're making progress. We've just got that little bit to go, and then we turn right. So up here and right, so it is going to be over one of those over there. Not going we're not going over to that one. And then that's a big slog up there. There's something moving up over there. Anyway, we're making progress. We're going to get to the top and then turn right and follow it around. Well, that's the valley where the lake is down there. So we're up here, we're about just over 900 meters. So we've got to get up there, which is about 1,000 meters, and then it's sort of fairly flattish. I think we kind of go swing around to the right over to that hill over there, and then I think from there it's well, it doesn't really go down. I think the lake we're aiming for is like the other side of that, but it's not much lower. I think everything up here is around the 900, 1,000 meter mark. It's all higher up here, obviously, than down there. And then, as I say, tomorrow we basically just come over this ridge here with the trees on it, but just across the top, and then down into camp. So tomorrow will be an easier day, because we've already done the elevation today. We've already done the climbing today. But it's certainly strenuous. I've stopped once more, apart from regular stopping like this just for a minute. I've drunk most of the water in my bottle, and of course I've got that other Nalgene bottle in the Polk, so probably will need to dig down and get that, which means taking a load of stuff. I didn't think I'd drink so much, so that's kind of surprising. That, you know, make sure that you've got handy drinks. You will drink more out here. It's surprising, really. But we'll get up. We'll try and get a bit further. It would be nice to try and get up to there, and then to just up there or just the other side, and then have another stop, and then get the water out. You know, I'm definitely going to have to get the water out, because we've got to get up there and then over there and down. So, you know, I will have no choice. I'll get thirsty otherwise. We're not short of time. So anyway, we're going to push on up there. Well, we're about 960 meters, and that up there, I'm hoping is is about the 1,000 mark. I don't think it'll be much higher than that. If we're on 960, then by the time we've got up there, that's going to be nearly the top. We've done, so today's walk is about 6 kilometers. I put it on my watch, so we've got Talkie Toaster going there. I'm just off my line because my line was just down here a little bit, but I wanted to, might have been okay, but when I looked at the land down there, it looked a little bit of an angle like that, and I was a bit concerned about crossing it, you know, with the poke. But it does seem to have some lateral movement stability, because even coming along here just back there, it was at a slight angle that we were going across, and it didn't slip or anything. So as I say, we're about halfway. It's taken about 2 hours to do the 3 kilometers. So in theory, it shouldn't take more than another 2 hours to do the next or last 3 kilometers, and then we'll start looking for somewhere to camp down there. I'll have a look. We'll stop when we've got a better view. We'll have a look, because obviously tomorrow we need to come along there and then down one of these valleys. So camp is somewhere, I think there's a load of trees there. Well, I think we're kind of this side of all those trees, but where those trees are, we're the other side, if that makes any sense. But that's the lake, you know, just down there. So anyway, I'm gonna carry on, do this last push up here, and then we will have a stop maybe just the other side. It's breezy, but it's not too cold. I've not needed to put my gloves on yet, thankfully, so that's kind of good. It's a little bit steeper than I was thinking, but it is just up there, so it's not far. But yeah, it's a little pull up here. Probably would have been better to go on around there and then up over there actually, but anyway, we've started now. All right, well this is not quite the top of the hill, that's just over there, so we're just to the side of it. The pulp's just down there, but if we go along there and then we really just want to cross that sort of plateau-y thing and then up the other side, and then the lake is just the other side. It's not very far down. So once we're over there, that's when we need to start looking for somewhere to, you know, to camp. Indeed, if I found somewhere sheltered, I might even just have a look down here, because it is quite breezy, so I might just have a look. If it's sheltered down there, then that might even be worth looking at, and then tomorrow we'd go up the other side and then over around that way. So it might just be worth looking down there, but we're heading in that direction over there. All right, so we've had the hill behind us and we're just coming down here, and I can feel the poke pushing me, and I'm having to walk very slowly and carefully using the poles. I don't want to make it sound overly dramatic. It's just a small incline. It's not exactly Mount Bloody Everest, but unless you are incredibly experienced, I would not want to go down here on skis without a poke, let alone with a poke. You know, now I've tried skis briefly a bit, and maybe like 20 or 30 years ago or something, or maybe, I don't know, but realistically I don't think I would not want to go down that on skis. There's just no brake on them, just your, you know, doing your snow plow thing. And yes, I mean, obviously you'd get down here, swoosh, even with a snow plow. Yeah, I can imagine that would be really quite fun, to be fair, but I don't know. I don't think I'd want to be trying that without, you know, without a polk, let alone, certainly not anytime soon anyway. I mean, maybe to come out and base camp and then come up and ski around and go back to base camp, maybe, but you know, even then you'd need, and some of those slopes, they're so, you know, walking up them was, you know, it was fairly straightforward with the snowshoes. But I don't know, now I'm out here and kind of not so sure about the skiing business. Walking and snowshoes seems a lot safer to me. I mean, I'm 54 now, and you know, I've never done it before, and I'm terrified just on the flat or on like a 1 degree incline. But anyway, let's get down here a bit more, head over that way. Obviously the lake, our lake, is just down here, so you know, it would be good to try and get over the other side and camp down there and then make our way, but either up and down. But you know, I think there's so many flat, well, not flat, but you know, fairly gentle inclines. I mean, clearly from here that's a fairly gentle slope down, because that whole slope down over there, that just goes straight down. So you know, I think going down here would be quite straightforward, all things considered. So I don't know, let's get down here, let's see what it's like down here, maybe get up the other side. I am still thinking that we will be out of the wind up the other side. So alright, now we're down here and we can see that hill much clearer. It looks quite rocky. We might be able to get up over there. It's very rocky, but we might get up over there. Yeah, maybe head for there and then down the other side. The other thing that was crossing my mind is to have a look up there, but I really don't want to cut the walk, because if I do that, then I'm going to just go straight down there tomorrow, and I really don't want to just go, and then that's just like a very short walk back, and I don't want to be too short tomorrow. I'd be quite happy to go there and then go round the back and not go up that ridge and kind of come down, which probably still won't be much shorter than if we went up there, because it is reasonably sheltered here. But the time it is, though, it's not even 2 o'clock yet, it's 1:30, so I think we can, if we swing around this way, I think we can get up that hill and then down the other side. It really isn't very far, so let's go and have a look. Okay, well, we're on the top. We didn't get over that, so the lake is down, it's kind of over, I think it's more over that way, but I think this area here is, we can flatten this area. We've got some protection from this ridge here. Yes, we might find protection over that way, but you know, we've got protection here. So it's quite breezy, but it's not overly, you know, it's not overly breezy or anything. So I think what we do is we'll flatten out an area here, and then we'll try and get the Duomid XL in here, and we'll see how we get on with the spikes, you know, with the center pole. We'll secure that one way or another, and yeah, let's get pitched up, and then maybe we can try and have a little ski around here. I don't know. I don't want to go anywhere near the sides, and there are quite a few rocks and things here, so we'll see. I think we've done about, like I said, we were going to go just over there somewhere. I think the lake is down over there, but I'm quite happy. It's coming up to 2 o'clock. It takes an hour to stomp and get the base ready, so that's 3. And then obviously we then got to get the Duomid up, so hopefully the wind will ease a bit, but it's just it's really not that bad. The clouds are not moving too quickly up there, so we'll try here. Well, we're stomping out this area here. The winds have, I've checked the forecast, and from when we were walking earlier, they were about 16 kilometers, so not exactly not exactly 100-mile-an-hour winds, thankfully, but they are easing now, which they do appear to be doing as well. They're dropping from about 16 down to around about 10 or 11, something like that. That's down in the town. I made one silly boo-boo. I couldn't work out whether to bring the Z8 and the D850 up here, and in the end I thought I'll just bring the I'd just bring the Z8. And of course, you know what I went and did? I went and switched them round, because they're in very, very similar pouches. I took the wrong one out of the pouch, and I was just going to film up here. I thought, well, I'll just do this bit on the camera. Oh well, never mind, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. Alright, so we've stomped this quite a bit. It's still quite sinky. I think it's going to be one of those of pitching it and then filling in holes. I think with this warm sun coming down on it, it's really quite warm. I think we need to leave that for another half hour or so, just to